You know what amazes me that Hollywood was so quick to easily cobble together a biopic on Harvey Weinstein so quickly, but it was called The Predator.
Yeah, it was him and co-starring Jared from Subway
Yep, and Bill Cosby,
and Bryan Singer.
and a surprise appearance from Asia Argento. No one saw that coming. So hi, welcome to End Credit Reviews on episode of After the Credits on End Credit Reviews. This is Tyler from End Credit Reviews.
And this is Luke from the passenger seat.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I wish there was more, my friends as well here, so we could do the whole backseat boys thing
Yeah.
if anybody still remembers that. But anyway, we just came back from watching The Predator. Now, basically, I think we should give our quick thoughts on the other Predator movies before we talk about this one. I
Mhm.
just want to say, I think we can both agree, at least the two of us can agree, that the first Predator from the 80s was the best one.
Yeah.
Really good, borderline excellent, I would say. I mean, the movie itself really does hold up very well. There's a lot of good action, very good character development.
I dare say a action classic. Well, one of Schwarzenegger's best.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so many great one-liners in that movie.
Get to the chopper.
My favorite one is when he throws the giant knife and he says, "Stick
Stick around.
around."
Oh,
I mean, that one-liner is so awesome. You briefly forgot how fake that knife looked.
yeah. And then they're Dylan. And then they grab the arm thing, the shot of the arms.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Predator 2, I think, was a step down noticeably, but I felt like it had its moments, and I respect it for at least trying to be something different.
Yeah, Predator in the concrete jungle this time.
Yeah, wasn't there a video
It was
game?
called Predator Concrete Jungle, and it was for PS2, I think.
Oh yeah, I never played it before. I mean, I've seen some footage of it. I mean, to be honest, I actually liked it more than Predators, which was too many callbacks to the first one and
Yeah.
painfully miscasting Adrian Brody as some hardened like assassin, not assassin, but mercenary for hire, kind of like killer.
Mm.
I mean, I remember when I was in high school, when I was listening to the radio, these guys would talk about movies or movie news coming up. I forget the name of these guys, but basically they gave their reaction to Adrian Brody and Lawrence Fishburne being cast in that movie, and they just like mocked it, and I'm like, yep, they didn't, they weren't really wrong about that.
I still think the Lawrence Fishburne character should have been Arnold. Like they when looking for, or Arnold just shows up and he's been there the whole time.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know.
would have,
I don't know how they would explain how he got there because it's another planet.
they would have probably somehow figured that out, but that would have been a lot better, I think. But then again, my other joke that occurred to me was that I think the reason why they probably cast Adrian Brody in that movie was that, oh, he was on SNL. He had these like dreads on when he made fun of a Sean Paul song. That's the guy for next Predator movie because he had wore
'Cause he had
dreads. Yeah. Or maybe they saw how huge his nose was. They're like, okay, he's warrior deadly enough. You maybe hear some sound in the background, just some change that I got from buying my icy and that. All right, so basically, yeah, Predators is our least favorite. I think we both agreed on that. All right, so now we get to the Predator. Now, I forgot to ask Steve, I mean, Luke, if he could look up on his IMDb page on his phone of, who's who, I guess, in the movie. But anyway, this movie, of course, takes place at least after the events of the first two Predator movies. And with this one, basically a Predator ship crashes on Earth, and basically a American sniper. I'm trying to remember who played him again, but
He was
basically,
from Logan. He was the dude from Logan.
oh,
one
he
of the
played
villains.
he played Don, I guess.
Donald Pierce,
Oh
the
yeah, that.
villain, and the guy with the robot hand.
Oh yeah, and there's also a scene where a guy pretty much died like Logan did. Spoilers,
Oh
but
yeah.
um, but anyway, so he basically gets captured by the government and other things happen, and then of course it's introduced as that, oh, there is this big bad new predator
He's actually called the
character.
Ultimate Predator, apparently.
Yeah, the ultimate predator. So I guess they don't really talk about the predators that we saw in Predators, who were kind of like, I don't know, some kind of blood feud thing.
Yeah, there's like different gangs or different tribes that fight each other, I guess. I don't know. The lore with Predator is kind of weird.
Yeah. But anyway, this movie is directed by Shane
Shane
Black, who, for those who don't know, is that Shane Black was in the first Predator movie.
He was Hawkins.
Yeah,
He was the first person to die in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, in an interview, he said that when my mom went to go see this movie, what didn't bother her was my pussy jokes, but it was when I died, she had to walk out during that moment because she couldn't bear seeing me get killed on screen,
Wow.
even though it was fake. But yeah, I mean, he not only directed this movie, but he also co-wrote this movie with Fred Dekker. Now, last time these two guys contributed on writing a movie, it was this classic, at least this, kind of cult classic, and I think it's still a pretty good movie called The Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely one of the best movies to do not so well financially, I would say. But anyway, that was over 30 years ago, so it's been a long time since they've done anything, at least writing, contributing. And Shane Black, I kind of have mixed feelings about him because he has made some movies that I thought were pretty solid, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys, but then he directed Iron Man 3.
I just think he was the wrong fit for that movie. I don't know if his style, I don't think, worked for it.
Yeah, he's better at just rated R stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like The Nice Guys. That was a good one.
I haven't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
It's,
so I don't know.
It's pretty
He
solid.
also wrote all the Lethal Weapon.
Oh yeah,
movies.
definitely. Oh yeah, and the guy who directed the first Predator movie, he directed Die Hard.
Yeah.
After that one,
and then he ended up in prison. Forgot why, but I think he's actually still in prison. I think it's tax evasion or something.
Wow, I mean,
so him and Wesley Snipes both going to prison for the same reason.
Yeah, you would think that the court system would be like, well, you directed two awesome movies from the 80s. I think you should get a lighter sentence. I know, you directed like one of the best action flicks, Die Hard, of all time. Also, Predator, one of the best sci-fi action films of all time. You say, well, you contributed some good things to society, so we'll give you a little bit, some years off your sentence, I guess. But yeah, so basically back to the movie itself. We also give, of course, these other renegades that we get introduced to, and basically the story goes from there. So, what did you think of The Predator?
I thought it was a mixed bag, mostly because, like Iron Man 3, I don't know if Shane Black was the right choice for this movie, because it felt like two different movies. It felt like it was trying to be a Predator movie and a action comedy. And sometimes I was like, I totally forgot I was watching a Predator movie, and then the theme kicked in, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm watching a Predator movie, because I feel like the Predator was not in it that much. I don't know if you think that, but for like a huge chunk of the movie, he's not in it. And I get like the first movie, he wasn't in it much, but I don't know. I thought tonally it was kind of all over the place. Like, it goes from the beginning, which is like, it just immediately starts, and then suddenly it's this kid like in a school, and I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. The tone was all over the place.
I mean, I get you. I mean, to be fair, at least the Predator character didn't turn out to be some actor, and then some other pissant turned out to be the Predator, and that sort of thing. I'm sorry, but I still think that twist in Iron Man 3 is still stupid. I can't really let that go because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Even 5 years later, I want my money back.
Yeah, that made me mad too.
But anyway, so who plays the main character, the sniper again?
Boyd Holbrook? He hasn't done much except for Logan. That's all I know him from.
Oh yeah, we just talked about that. But yeah, I mean, basically, his character, he has a son who, in the movie, who I guess has some kind of autism, but he is, pretty smart in that way. And of course, his importance comes up later into the movie. One thing that was in the trailer that I'm thinking to myself, thank God that was not in the movie, was when he's like controlling this thing like it's a spaceship.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, and it looks like he's controlling the Predator spaceship.
That was clearly cut. Yeah, he was like thank
it was
a toy.
God, you dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, there was actually quite a bit of footage from the trailers that I didn't see in this movie.
Yeah, I think that's a really bad cliche when you purposely shoot footage that's just for the trailer and not in the movie. That's false advertisement. But thank God, basically that was not in the movie. Yeah. Good. But yeah, we also, of course, are introduced to Olivia Munn's character, who is a professor and
biologist, I think. I don't know. I feel like she was kind of miscast. She doesn't sell scientists to me.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I mean, her acting in this movie wasn't half bad in that. I mean, she's also good eye candy too, being, Psylocke from the X-Men movies.
And she was on G4. You remember the channel G4?
Oh yeah,
That was
G4.
before she acted. She was on TV
Yeah,
as a
no, I
host.
mean, she was talking about, oh, this is kind of the, worst Predator I've met. Well, then again, you kind of knew Brett Ratner, so
Did you know Brett Ratner?
yeah, I think they might have dated.
Wait, she was the old Psylocke. Cause didn't they recast? No, she was Psylocke
She was
in.
always, I think that
I
she was
don't.
the only actress that played Psylocke in at least live action
I don't think
movies.
Psylocke was. X-Men 3 had Psylocke. No,
Maybe?
X-Men 3 was Brett Ratner, but she was in Apocalypse, and
Yeah,
that was Bryan Singer.
I think they may have dated before
Uh,
that, like,
Is that how
sometime.
she got in this movie? No.
No, definitely not. Brett
With
Ratner
Fox?
was kicked out way after Apocalypse happened.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Also, I was kind of surprised that Yvette, what's her name?
Ivani hold on. Strahovski?
Yeah, I almost didn't recognize her.
Who is that?
She's an actress she was best remembered for that show Chuck.
And Dexter?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of surprised to see her because she didn't really have much makeup on and that sort of thing. I was wondering, like, who is she? She looks familiar. Oh, that's her. Okay. I didn't recognize her that well in the movie. I mean, this movie, I mean, maybe we should talk about our favorite kind of, other, you know, misfits, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. Keegan-Michael Key plays a character named Coyle. I think he was maybe one of the best of the group just because I like Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh yeah, and also him and what's his name? They were both on Mad TV, and there's one of the funniest skits they did was when they're having this fight, and one of them starts doing some like gay thing, like grabbing each other's butts or going down on their knees.
Yeah.
And the guy he was doing that with, he wrote and directed Get Out later, which is kind of surprising.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just low key. That's an overrated movie.
I've never
But
seen it.
anyway, another actor I thought was pretty funny was oh yeah, who's the guy with the Tourette syndrome?
Thomas Jane. He played the Predator. The Punisher. He was the Punisher.
Oh
in,
yeah,
was it Punisher Warzone or
I
one of the
forget.
Punisher movies he played him?
Yeah, what I think of the first one he played the Punisher.
Well, the first one's Dolph Lundgren.
Oh
from,
yeah,
like, the 80s.
oh yeah. I'm talking about the mid 2000s one.
Yeah, this
Sorry,
was him.
that's an underrated movie in my book. At least when it comes to Marvel comic book movies, that's not part of the MCU. I would say
Yeah.
that's definitely an underrated one. But anyway, I mean, also, yeah, he had the Tourette syndrome, and there's this part about a miscommunication between him and Olivia Munn's character. There was a lot of hilarious stuff in this movie. Like, I think the R-rated dialogue for this worked a lot better than Iron Man 3's.
Yeah, because it's Shane Black being Shane Black. He's allowed to write whatever he wants. Felt very Shane Blacky dialogue.
Yeah, and of course, Lethal Weapon movies, so he's got props for that. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of jokes in this one, but of course, we should talk about, of course, the title character of the movie. So, should we talk about the Predator or the Ultimate Predator?
Probably the regular Predator first.
Oh yeah,
The
definitely.
one that gets captured.
Yeah, my favorite part was when he is on like this transport for soldiers. He kills all the soldiers there, and the guy drives like, is everything okay there? Grabs an arm of one of the soldiers,
Yeah.
puts it up, and the thumbs up,
Yeah.
like everything's okay. I mean, I was laughing pretty hard with that one.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and then also when he's escaping, he grabs some of the guns and starts shooting like just random
Yeah.
shots.
It's
And
kind of
like,
weird to see the Predator with a normal gun.
yeah, I mean, the way he was shooting, it's like that's basically how Call of Duty addicts wish they could shoot and be successful in real life, probably.
I don't know. Even though I thought that was funny and cool, that was one of the problems I had was the Predator didn't really act like the Predator like he used to. Like,
Well,
he's
this
always
is-
been stealthy.
I
and this one,
guess.
he's just kind of like walking through everywhere. Like,
Yeah, I mean, but then again, there's always been different predators, and there's been ones who've been killed off and that and sort of things. And maybe he was kind of in a hurry, like he was trying to do something or warn people about, possibly. But yeah, and then also kind of, well, it's on the poster, so it's gonna be kind of a spoiler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Predator gets killed by the ultimate Predator, who
And then he rips his spine out, like the classic thing. And I do like how they established lore of why they do that. It's like they take their spinal fluid and like they evolve. That's how they evolve.
oh yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool thing. But then again, they're like, oh, by the way, let's toss in global warming into the mix because
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
yeah, it's like yeah, it was scribbled in by crayon by some gore guy. But anyway, the part about it was I'm trying what I was gonna say, but oh yeah, so basically, oh yeah, I did love the spinal fluid thing, and then of course they tie in the character's son, how his form of autism is not really a defect, but it might be a next step in evolution.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of cheesy. Like when they're like, oh, they want him because he's in. I was like, really? I don't know. I didn't really buy it.
Yeah, but there's a oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I remember now. When he's in the showman's school and these bullies come up to him, pick on him, like I'm trying what they said exactly. Like
Oh, he something about he wants an ass sandwich or something. What was that?
yeah, they were talking about that, and I'm like, that sounds like some of the gayest stuff ever.
Yeah. Also, did
That'd
you
be
notice?
my response pretty much. I'm like, are you two like?
Did you notice on the school sign it says "Welcome parents and STDs"? It's
Yeah.
supposed to be students for short, but it looks like STDs.
Yeah, that was not part of the joke. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah, so the ultimate predator is basically he doesn't have any armor on or any kind of mask, but instead he's able to see perfectly fine, and he pretty much has some kind of natural camouflage and some kind of barrier around him
Mm-hmm.
in a way to make him kind of like the ultimate one. He doesn't need special technology. I think it was kind of a cool thing to see that happen. However, I mean, just seeing the Predator. I mean, sometimes the CG on him
Yeah.
kind of look kind
Some of the CG in this movie was not great.
I mean, there's some parts where Olivia Munn's character gets hit at one point,
And like the frame rate screws up, it looks like that, and then it happened again a little bit later. Like I was like, "What's going on?" The
Yeah.
frame rate was all
like they're
screwy.
trying to do a cross dissolve or something, and they forgot to do the cross dissolve.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. Maybe that was intentional, or maybe it was projector. I don't know.
You know, I kind of would have liked if the Ultimate Predator was a guy in a costume because I feel like the guys in costumes in Predators looked better than some of the CG. Like I said, didn't look great. I could tell it was a mocap. I
Yeah,
think most of it was mocap.
I mean, there were times. I mean, most of the time, that Ultimate Predator looked good, except sometimes he's like crawling around in that kid's room basement thing. Looked kind of yeah, you kind of look like a CG character for a pre-show for a ride before I go on, in a way. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I did like how they were showing like the Predator ship and the shield thing and how they played
Yeah.
with that. And there are a lot of cool weapons too. And who is that a-hole guy who got his kind of guys pretty much his comeuppance, like kind of low-key spoilers?
Who we guy that got this? You mean the black dude? The main?
Yeah,
No.
like the government guy. Wait, I think you just passed him right there.
Yeah, His name was. They said Will, I think is his name, but it's Sterling K. Brown. I mean, he's been in a lot.
Okay. Yeah, it's a weird part in the beginning where he like eats some kind of I don't know
Nicotine?
nicotine. Then eats another patch.
He eats a ton of them.
But he never. I don't think I ever saw him eat any more again after that.
No, and that reminds me. I feel like there's some random like editing in this movie. Like, where did they all get guns from?
Yeah, and where did the guy get the cop car?
Yeah, like
And I
suddenly
think-
he's in a cop car.
Oh,
and
I
then they all
think-
pull out guns.
I
out
think
of their
I
ass.
know why. I think I know why now. It occurred to me was that I don't know if you heard about this, a controversy about the movie, but Olivia
Oh.
Munn demanded this one guy to be cut from the movie because I guess he was some kind of
He
registered
was a sexual predator, ironically.
Yes.
And he had to be
And-
cut from Predator.
Yeah, the Predator, and some of the cast members like got on her for that because if you think about it, I mean, yeah, I may understand being iffy about that, but then again, it might if it's like an important scene, like it kind of compromises the movie, then it's kind of well, maybe you should bite your tongue on that because he probably was a cop car with guy driving. He wasn't a cop
Probably
car.
was the cop.
Yeah, he was the cop whose car got jacked.
Yeah, but
And
it still
that-
wouldn't explain how they got guns unless they were all in the cop car's trunk or something.
Or maybe it was from his stash of guns because he's a soldier.
Also,
I guess.
did I miss something? Why did that dog have a grenade inside it?
I think they tossed a grenade inside of.
Because earlier one of them got shot by a grenade launcher, but grenade launchers don't shoot frags like that.
Yeah, but I think one of them.
Just chucked a frag into his mouth.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, I guess I just didn't see it.
I feel like it was kind of iffy. The whole like, oh, the dog is kind of lobotomized or something.
Yeah, that was odd. They didn't kill him. They just let him walk around while he was like loopy.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of like the dog designs from Predators more, because
Yeah,
this one looks
I
just
agree.
like, it looks like a dog with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know.
It's like a
weird.
kid, like, hey, I want you to draw what a predator's pet would look like,
and
put dreads on it.
Like, perfect. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, at least the predator dogs and predators actually looked more unique. At least, I mean, they should have just put the design of that into that one. Would have been more beneficial. But yeah, I mean, I do think that this movie was very enjoyable, and there was a lot of funny moments, and also Gary Busey's son's in this movie too.
Yeah, Jake Busey's playing the son of Gary Busey's character from Predator 2.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that they didn't bring that up. Well, not just that, but they didn't bring that up. Like, oh yeah, this thing, despite saying why this thing killed my father.
Yeah, like maybe he's getting revenge or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they should have brought that up.
They did mention. They said they talked about 87 and 97, which is Predator 1 and 2.
Yeah, they don't mention anything about Predators.
Yeah, because no one knows where that fits in the timeline.
Yeah, no one really cares about that one either. But
yeah, not really many callbacks to that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they mentioned it. I don't know if that's even in the timeline or maybe it hasn't happened yet. But I do think that there were some callbacks to the first one and some dialogue early on, which are like, okay, it's just minor in that.
The get to the choppers thing, I was like, really?
What would you give The Predator, Luke?
I think I would give it a solid C, because I didn't think it was amazing. Didn't think it was terrible. I think it falls somewhere in the middle. I think it might be the best. I mean, this isn't saying much, but it might be the best Predator sequel. I think it may be a little better than Predator 2. Still, obviously not going to touch Predator 1. Better than Predators. So, yeah, about a C, so like a 70%.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree when it comes to sequels, this is the best of the Predator movies. I mean, going into it, I knew they weren't going to top the first one. It'd be a really big uphill battle. And I do think they accomplished a lot. I mean, it was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be, which I thought was pretty enjoyable. I mean, I liked all the stuff with the humans and that.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to like about them and care about them. And one of the reasons why the first Predator movie, I burped a little bit, why you care about those characters was that they developed them, and when they died, it left more of an emotional impact. And with this one, that also happens as well, which I liked. Also, I did like the kind of callback, like you get like a head start in a way. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like The Most Dangerous Game. It's based off, of course, like a short story that got its own movie, and other stuff in our own, like, fiction has kind of copied that kind of premises. Like, for example, Predator or Battle Royale, the Hunger Games basically kind of have that sort of scenario of a hunter human, hunting other humans in a way. But anyway, I do agree, like, yeah, some CG moments were kind of iffy, some editing choices were weird. Not enough of, the actual Predator and the ultimate Predator. At times kind of reminded me of The Undertaker. I mean, I don't really watch wrestling, but it does look like that. But I do agree with the joke about saying that wrestling is basically redneck anime.
Yeah, it could have been The Undertaker with mocap dots on him.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
Well, that would have made it interesting in typecasting. I mean, yeah, they've cast big guys as, Predators in the past, which made sense. But yeah, I mean, I thought this movie was pretty enjoyable. I actually liked it more than Sicario de Soldado, at least. And this one, I did like. I thought it was pretty enjoyable for what it was. I did like how there wasn't really any slow parts, just started immediately. And also, I did like it more than Predators. I mean, this one at least was trying to do something more different. It wasn't like Predators, where it's like, oh, let's pay homage to the first one so badly in that. And with that, I would give at least The Predator, at least for now, I would give it about 3 stars out of 4. I mean, there's a part at the end credits, I'm like, or not the end credits, but at the end of the movie, I'm like, wait, is that the xenomorph? Because at first I thought it was like the like the cuffs for the alien queen.
Yeah,
If you remember Alien versus Predator,
barely.
that was kind of like the cuffs that she had on.
You know, when he said it's the Predator killer, I was like, is that gonna be Arnold? I was like, are they gonna have Arnold come out of cryo sleep? And I
or
was like, that would have been cool.
or maybe it was a xenomorph. Maybe
Then it's a freaking like samurai Predator robot. I don't even know what it was.
yeah, it was
It's like a
like
transformer.
yeah, a Transformer Predator Gundam.
Yeah, it did look like a Gundam.
Yeah. So anyway, this is Tyler from Anchor Reviews.
And Luke from passenger seat.
Yes, sadly, no Backstreet Boys this time, but hopefully in the future, maybe for Venom, who knows. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to make a lot more in the future. Please like and subscribe.